Volkswagen Golf R has always been more Bruce Banner than the Hulk, a more refined, civilised brute as opposed to an all-out balls-to-the-walls kamikaze effort. This is the new updated Golf R, and Volkswagen have added a little bit of chili to the already potent hyper-hatch mix. Under the bonnet you'll find the same 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, but it now kicks out 306 brake horsepower and 400 Nm of torque. Now those figures are no coincidence because they actually equal that of the outgoing FK2 Civic Type R. But what the Type R doesn't have is all-wheel drive, and that's where this car really plays its ace, because it can launch from 0 to 62 miles per hour with this 7-speed DSG gearbox in just 4.6 seconds and go on to an electronically limited top speed of 155 miles per hour. Visually, the Golf R is a bit of a cue car because it doesn't really shout about its performance that it has lurking under the skin. Finished in this signature blue, our test car looked pretty sharp with its new LED lights. It really can blend into the crowd, and for some people that's exactly what they're looking for a car that they're going to daily drive. The interior shares this grown-up attitude. There's loads of space in here, it's a very practical car, it's going to be an easy sell to the family, that's for sure. Particularly this 5-door model, though a 3-door model is made available. There's plenty of space for everybody. The rear bench has plenty of head and legroom for people. Okay, the hump in the floor does cut down on legroom for the middle passenger, but up front you're showered in a ream of technology. You've got the new 9.2-inch Discover Pro touchscreen display down here that's very visually based. I quite like that. It's also got gesture control, which is a first in this class. And in front of you, you've got this 12.3-inch display, which makes up a digital dashboard, which can customise and tailor itself to whatever function the car's going through. Generally speaking, material quality is high, and the flat-bottom steering wheel and Racy bolstered seats do add that little hint of occasion to the interior. Boot space is also a usable 343 litres. Now that's all rather civilised, and I have to say that matches the day-to-day driving experience of the car. There's not too much noise in here, there's a nice air of refinement, it soaks up lumps and bumps pretty well, especially considering the sporty setup of the chassis. Steering weighting's sensible and visibility is really good all around. For all intents and purposes, it drives like a Golf, which is no bad thing at all. But what you really want to do is go down into this mode selector and select Race, because that's when the Golf R undoes its top button and goes a bit wild. It is seriously quick, this car. It's up there with the very best of the licence losers because it is effortless in the way it surges on and on and on. That 400 Nm of torque, and the all-wheel drive just means you can apply that performance in all conditions. It's really, really impressive how it gets a bit of a move on. Overall, the car has a very nice balance. Obviously, you can feel a bit of that weight in comparison to maybe its two-wheel drive competitors. But like I say, it gives you that really reassuring Scalextric stuck to the ground feel. And all in all, it allows you to exploit the performance of the car more often. In race mode, we have the stiffer dampers, the heavier steering, the increased throttle response. The gears are held on longer by this DSG gearbox. And of course, you have a slightly more orchestral note coming from that quad exhaust at the back. Stomp on the throttle and increased velocity is narrated by a really guttural engine note. It comes from deep in the bowels of the car. It's manly. Driven at a pace, the Golf R really is a car you can be precise with. The weighting of the steering allows for very accurate placement on the road. And the stopping power of the brakes, well, it brings things under control pretty nicely. It gives you that added reassurance, I suppose, whenever you are driving maybe a little bit too quickly. This updated model claims to emit 160 grams per kilometre of CO2 and achieve 40.9 mpg combined. If you want a true multi-mission hyper hatchback that ticks all of the boxes, well, the Golf R could be for you. At £31,865, this car certainly is competitive price-wise with its rivals, and actually represents, I think, pretty good value for the level of performance that you're getting. The big thing with this car is that whilst your mate in the Focus RS is being pulled over by the police every 5 minutes, you engage stealth mode and can go just as quickly.
Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments below. Please subscribe for all of the latest and greatest cars to hit the road. For breaking news and written reviews, visit www.insidelane.co.uk.